we're just going to jump right into this one today. Question for you. If I give you a $200 million extension, you going to start flashing guns all over social media?
Outrageous.
Yeah. Ja Morant making headlines this past weekend. I don't know what his deal is. I don't know what's going on with him. He's had multiple allegations against him. Again, we don't know what's true. We obviously know that the photo on Instagram that he posted was true.
What's the proof right there? Instagram Live. Was an Instagram Live?
He went live.
Heard, something like that.
Yep.
And they suspended him for 2 games. Grizzlies.
Well, he stepped away from the team, too. This is going to be longer than 2 games.
But Grizzlies decided to suspend him for 2 games.
Yeah, so...
Right now, the NBA jumped in.
Correct.
And they suspended indefinitely. So, he could be pressed charges for... How old is he? Like 21, maybe?
It's a good question. I think he's a little bit older than that.
That's the guy. He said, I'm ready for the... he said, we are ready for... We will take over the West. That's what he said.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ja Morant's 23.
Still.
Yeah, he's 23.
You got $200 million extension. You go, I'm rich.
And then you do stuff like that. You cannot do stuff like that. You just can't.
No.
You can't.
They don't learn.
How many times have we seen this with countless other athletes? Not even just basketball, other sports as well.
Oh, yeah.
You've had multiple allegations in baseball in the last couple seasons. And NFL's already had their history of it between Ray Lewis, Adrian Peterson stuff. Kareem Hunt. I mean, it's these athletes.
They just don't learn.
No.
They just. I wish one of them were behaving. Making my money and play what I love. How how many people they love what they do and get paid? That's not too many.
Us everyday people we would honestly take $500,000 just to go play every day for a season.
Exactly. Well, things I love, sports I love, and they just make money and they're just doing stupidity. Oh, I'm better than you, and these athletes. I just don't get it. The NBA have some issues, domestic violence before. This is something new about guns. Seriously, guns?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so the allegation came out a couple weeks ago, if not almost a little over a month ago, I believe now, but. Apparently, there was a red beam pointed at a Pacers official that was working there or something like that, and that started the whole fiasco of it. So, what I don't understand, though, is this. We have a day and age, and there's a couple things I have an issue with basketball. There's a few things I have an issue with basketball. One of which is the load management. People spend their hard-earned money for you to just say, oh, for instance, what do we got tonight? Now, this one's a little bit understandable. This one's a little bit more understandable, but here's a perfect example of it. Just take away the issue that happened last night. Knicks played Boston. They went to double overtime. Boston travels to Cleveland. They play here tonight. This is Monday, so 3-6. And Tatum and Horford are out.
Yeah.
Load management because they played in double overtime yesterday.
It's just outrageous how these athletes make money, how much they make, and they complaining. What about, we like Charles Barkley said, what about the people work every day, paycheck to paycheck, and they invest money just to see you guys?
Think about people who work in a steel mill and just,
exactly.
Those are type of people that do masonry work, construction. Those are people that are putting their body through the ringer every single day that they work. In the NBA, you're running up and down the court. Yeah, it gets physical from time to time, but not the wear and tear on the body.
The commission needs to be done. I don't know what the NBA commissioner. I know there was some rules changes about that a couple of years because there's a lot of people complaining about it. But we are in the same scenario. Nothing changed.
No,
nothing changed. I understand baseball, because they work, play every day.
But the thing is with baseball, they play 162 games. They don't do as much wear and tear as NBA. I get that. However, they still play 150 games, 160 games roughly. Very few players nowadays miss more than 10 to 15 games in baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, again, baseball's not as harmful on the body, as NBA or as football, but something's got to happen here. Something
has to change, and they don't play every single day. In baseball, you have a weekend.
You might play almost 3 weeks straight sometimes.
Yeah, 3 games for the same team. So they have the opportunity to see your favorite player. But in NBA, they will play like 3 games if there's in the same conference. 3 or 4 games. But if it's a Western Conference, East versus West is 2 times.
It's like only 2 times.
But you only play 1 home game and then
one
away.
On the road.
And a lot of people invested money just to see their favorite player. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take a rest.
Yeah.
Just insane, like, but any people that work for every single basis or paycheck to paycheck, they don't have that. They don't have that.
Yeah.
And you get paid anyway.
It's a whole issue there. I don't know what to do about it. Something's got to give. I don't know if it needs to be something like, okay, let's just say, for example, there's 82 games in the season. Let's say if you miss more than 20 games, or let's say 15 games due to rest instead of an actual injury, and it has to be a legit injury. You can't just say, "Oh, my ankle's sore, I'm staying out today." No.
It will be a lockout.
There will be. It's good. It's coming up. NBA is gonna have an issue here real soon because these owners, they're not making money. I mean, they're gonna make the money off it, but imagine all these fans that are like, you know what? After this season, I might be done. I might not go to any more games.
There's people they don't want.
They might wait until last minute to buy tickets now just to find out. A stadium that has 20.
Business for the NBA and the teams anyway.
Yeah, most basketball stadiums are usually around 19 to about 25,000. I mean, imagine only knowing that the day of the game that you only have 5,000 seats sold, and you're waiting for the rest from the sell.
You know what I like with Donovan Mitchell? Even injuries, he wants to play.
Yeah.
He don't like to take. But sometimes they obligate. No, you have to take a rest. No, this kid came to Cleveland. No, I'll have to put this team on my back somehow. Darius Garland doing the same. This kid wants to put this team in the playoffs and deep to the playoffs. This kid wants to, that's what I like some athletes. Like Damian Lillard from the Portland Blazers.
I'll tell you one that's really grown on me. Minnesota, Anthony Towns. Or not Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards.
Oh. Yeah.
He came out after the All-Star break and said to all of my fellow, All-Star teammates and people that are here, play. These people want to see you play. They spend their hard-earned money, and some people might only be able to go to a game every 3 years.
No.
If that. Some people can go every day because they have season tickets if you're that lucky, but, I mean, me and you haven't even been to a game since what? 2020, 2019. It's been almost 3 years.
No, I stopped going over there. Yeah, 2018, I think the last time.
Yeah, so it's been multiple years. It's been almost 4 or 5 years since we've been. So we can't afford it anymore.
No,
we really can't.
We love baseball because baseball, baseball is different.
I know where we live though too. Baseball does give us cheaper options as well. So we do have a lot more cheaper options when it comes to baseball. Yeah. So compared to a basketball ticket, we'll see what happens with it, but. I mean, load management's a big issue for me when it comes to this, but just I wonder what's going to happen with John Morant. I really do.
Do you think so the lockout, so the deal expires this year, correct? Or just an opt-out deal or something like that?
I believe it is. Is it the players that have an opt-out, I believe?
Something like that. But I don't know if they will do it right now because they extend the deadline to March something, I heard. I think we'll be extended to the freaking draft.
So we got one more year. It expires after the 2023-2024 season.
Okay.
Already extended once from December 15th, pushback from both parties. Both sides' ability to opt out of current deal on June 30th. So June 30th of this year, both sides can opt out. They both have the opportunity to opt out.
It will be they will opt out. I think there will be some issues they need to fix. And the owners are right. The owners are
in this case, they are right. They need to, these players need to play.
Yeah.
I can understand if there's a legitimate injury or you're like at this time of the year, if you've only missed 3 or 4 games and you want to, kind of rest a little bit near the end here, if you are kind of locked in at playoffs, it's a different story.
Well, find a way that you play with this team 3 or 4 times. If it's not a major injury, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you play against the Western East versus West, there's only one opportunity maybe a fan that on the opposite team,
Yeah.
is a favorite player. Come on, people need to do better, and athletes need to do better, and stop whining. You're getting paid. You're getting paid good, very good money. And by the way, you're getting paid because of the fans goes to the the NBA games.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Oh yeah. So I wanted to talk about two things. With the NBA, we're gonna go into our updates here again with our standings. It's gonna be a weekly thing until we hit playoffs. Right around playoff time, we're gonna give our bracket predictions. We're gonna think who's gonna advance in each matchup. Once we see that, this past Friday, the Clippers and Kings game. I want that to be a playoff matchup at some
Oh,
point.
it was a good game, huh?
128, 127. Kings won near the very end there. It was an overall good game. Really good. There's just so many good games that we're going to want to see. Like another one is you're going to want to see, in my opinion, you might want to see the Knicks versus the Celtics at this point. That was a good game last night.
Oh yeah. I'm very scared about the Knicks right now.
Right now, Cleveland's matched up with them too. So if you're a Cleveland fan, that's going to be an issue. Going off of that though, did you see Devin Booker and Luka Doncic got into it?
Oh yeah,
They are rivals.
Yeah.
They are bitter enemies. They will continue to fight each other until they are no longer playing in the NBA together.
Yeah.
That's a playoff matchup I want. I want the Suns and Mavericks as well.
And I don't know what the Mavericks are going to do. Because the Mavericks right now, they made the trade for Kyrie Irving. What's the record? 1-5 right now with Kyrie.
Yeah, I think something like that with Kyrie coming back.
Um.
They did lose last game. Let me see. Let's go.
Oh, the Clippers also struggling too.
So Kyrie got traded. First game was against. Who was the first game against?
Oh. I forgot who it was.
We'll find out right now. I think it was the Clippers.
By the way.
So since then, oh, good.
By the way, yeah, Cleveland versus New York Knicks will be the first if they stay in the same position.
New York might have a home series. Depends on what Cleveland does tonight because the Cavs play the Celtics tonight on the day of recording.
Yeah.
They lose to the Celtics.
Well, the Knicks plays against the Hornets next. Whatever.
Yeah, and Knicks would sweep in the 4 because I think the Knicks hold the head-to-head against us. So, excuse me. So Kyrie came over against the Clippers. It looks like was his first game. I believe, was that correct? Yeah. So it looks like it was the Clippers was his first game. So that being said, since Kyrie has been on the Mavericks have gone 2-2, 2-3, 3-3, 3-4. They have gone 4-6.
Wow. By the way, I don't know who made the schedules of the NBA. Do you see the Cavs have to play Miami Heat in Miami on Wednesday and Friday?
Yeah, they're doing the same thing. They're trying to limit the amount of travel.
Okay.
Yes, so that's something that they kind of did this year. They kind of experimented with it. You've seen a little difference. A good example of that is the Hawks played the Heat 2 days ago on Saturday, I believe, or Friday, and they're playing again in Miami tonight.
Okay.
So,
yeah, maybe that will work. But I look at the standings and man, I don't know.
are you ready for the standings now?
The Knicks could be jumping to the 4, man.
All right, so let's run through the standings. Go ahead with the East.
Well,
Who you got? Who's the top 4 in the East right now?
Milwaukee, after the 16 games winning streak, I think that they lost the one game against the 76ers the other day.
Yeah, and then they won again the last game that they played, so they're back in the winning column.
Yeah. Boston Celtics on second, 1/2 game.
There's a lot of concerns with that team right now, especially because of it looks like Tatum has lost his jump shot.
Yeah.
And Tatum's struggling to even hit contested layups.
I think
That is his game. If he cannot do that,
they're in trouble.
they are in trouble. It's bad for the Celtics. If they don't figure it out here soon, they might even fall. If you're a Philly fan, if you're a 76ers fan,
It's tough.
you're only 3 games back. You're hoping, first off, the day of this recording, Cavs play the Celtics. You're hoping the Cavs win, knock it to 2 games, and then
Well, we need to keep winning, and it's gonna be a tough matchup with the well, we can talk about later about the Cavs, but Boston, yeah, they're in trouble. 76ers, they're getting better. They're getting better. They beat the Milwaukee Bucks. That was in a row.
yeah, that was really good.
The Cavs, they have ups and downs. They need to get the offense rolling. I don't see the offense very. They have the best defense in the league, and that could be the reason. But the offense needs to find a way.
It's not the starters.
No,
It's
the
definitely
bench.
not the starters. It's the bench.
The
and
bench.
and I remember, you might remember, I talked to you about that. Did I not talk to you about that at the beginning of the season? I said, you traded away to get Donovan Mitchell. I'm not complaining about the Donovan Mitchell trade. I love the trade myself, being a Cleveland fan. However, the biggest thing that I did not like was you traded away Lowry Markkanen, and you traded away
Colin Sexton.
Colin Sexton was I'm fine with that one.
But
It
the
was
rookie-
it was the rookie that you traded away, Ochai Agbaji. I don't know. I haven't really seen his stats. We don't know what's going on with that. But he's a DN3 player. He was young. It's the exact same thing you just did with Danny Green. You signed Danny Green. You had the DN3 player. Ever since signing him, I think in the last like 15 or 10 games that they've played, something like that. How many minutes has he actually touched that floor? Not many.
Not many.
Not many at all. So what was the point of signing him? That's my question.
I think because of the fact they have no option, they don't want to make another trade after the trade.
Yeah,
Well-
I mean, that's the hard point, and it's we'll see what happens if the Cavs can't get out of the first round of the playoffs. I think there's going to be a lot of questions with that front office.
Maybe they need to sign a good small forward.
they need to.
In the offseason, they need to.
Jetty Osman needs to come off the bench,
I think
and I don't even know if I
maybe
really
trade
want
him.
him then.
or maybe trade him.
He is. I think he's got one more year after this year, so he probably will be traded at some point if he can't figure it out. So
Yeah, because of the fact, New York Knicks. That's the biggest surprise team. The Knicks they struggle for the most of the time, and for some reason
they've clicked.
they've
They've clicked.
good basketball.
They are the hottest team in the NBA
Oh
right
my
now.
God,
9 straight wins.
9 straight wins. I'm shocked because Stephen A. Smith always complain about the Knicks. You know how Stephen A. Smith is just talking about the Knicks.
I remember the day he lost out on the Kevin Durant sweepstakes.
Ah.
He was.
No,
Oh, boy.
remember when he's he said this is what he said a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. He said the bad nightmare I will have is for the Cavaliers beat the Knicks because he won Donovan Mitchell in the York Knicks.
Yeah, that was another big thing. So, and right now, guess what the matchup is? Cleveland versus the Knicks, of course. Stephen A. Smith, as a Clevelander, I hope that comes true for you.
Oh, he will be so mad. The Knicks on first take. The next day on first take.
Oh my god, first round exit. That would. He might call in sick on ESPN that day.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
find out. But run through the rest of that list for me
Brooklyn
here.
Nets. They're doing good after they lost Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant.
They beat the Celtics the other day at home.
Yeah, and they have that. Well, you see the biggest comeback. Well, not the biggest comeback, but it was a big comeback. And they had this guy from the Phoenix Suns.
Michael Bridges.
Oh my God!
Yeah, he's one of the main points on that. It's going to be interesting. It is. There's a lot of things that could happen here. There's a couple switches that could happen here. Why don't you rapid fire the rest of these from 7 to 15 down?
Okay, Miami. So. Atlanta Hawks. I always told you that I'm so disappointed again.
Yeah,
for
they're a 500 team, barely.
Toronto also. Washington. I'm surprised to be there in the playing tournament.
They could get bounced out here by a
But
team,
the
which I'll
biggest
bring up in a minute.
disappointment, Indiana Pacers. The biggest disappointment is Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, the Bulls disappointed a lot this year. They're gonna end up trading somebody there.
Oh yeah.
I don't know who. It sounds like it more likely might be DeRozan. It looks like they're gonna want to keep Zach LaVine, But I remember a few weeks ago I told you, watch out, the Pacers might sneak in there. And they are, a game and a half back on the Wizards.
Yeah.
They got a chance.
Orlando, that they're not going anywhere.
No, they're pretty much, I mean, they got a shot to make it. They are still mathematically in there, but I just don't see it happening.
No.
And then Michael Jordan's team, there was a photo or video the other day when they lost. He's never looked so defeated in his life. He's almost done with this team at this point. He's gonna go hard in free agency. I think he's gonna try to bring some people in.
So how much the cap space he have? Well, we'll see. We can figure out that later.
Yeah, they got some rookies.
We can talk
and
about
stuff.
this in the offseason about the NBA. Detroit Pistons. The biggest disappointment about this team, it was our first overall draft. No, it was Orlando Magic last year, but it was in top 5, correct? Detroit last year, kind of.
Detroit?
Yeah, the Pistons
In top 5 in what, the standings?
The draft.
I believe they were top 5, yeah, because 2 years ago they had the number 1 pick and they took Cade Cunningham.
I'm just telling you right now, they're rebuilding, but still.
They're not that far off, though. They need 1 or 2 players. They need to hit the draft. They need to sign a free agent, and they might be, in the play-in in the next 2-3 years.
All right. Can you talk about the Western Conference now?
Absolutely. Well, again, something we talked about. Well, Nuggets are going to be first.
Huh. Shit.
Again, we don't think anybody's touching the Nuggets. We both agree on that. The Nuggets are just the Nuggets at this point. They are the team to go through in the West.
And the Joker will win the 3rd MVP.
It's looking that way. It's looking that way. And he's finally got help the last couple games to Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray put up, I believe it was like 28, 30, and 22. So he's been putting up points.
Mm-hmm.
Here's where it gets interesting. Grizzlies are 2. They're only a game up on the Kings. And what did I tell you? The Kings might sneak into 2. The Kings might sneak into 2. I believe I told you that last week. And without Jamal Murray.
And the head coach was a Cavaliers coach.
Yes, he was.
And he's just saving this. They're gonna make the playoffs for the first time in 20 years.
It seems that way. Here's the thing too. De'Aaron Fox. He might be MVP talk next year. If he plays like he did this year, all year next year, he might be MVP. Well, no, Joker's winning it this year, I think.
Yeah.
But next year, watch out for De'Aaron Fox. He might be in MVP talks next year. We do have the Suns in 4th, Kings in 3rd, then Suns in 4th. Suns are 2 games back on the Kings. Warriors get Steph back. Much needed. Warriors,
what a comeback.
Yeah, they're in 5th now, so they're going up the leaderboard. Timberwolves, they moved up a couple spots. They are now 6. Mavericks fell. Mavericks are 7.
Yeah,
and this is going to be interesting to see what happens with Kyrie because he hasn't signed an extension yet. He's still got a chance to leave after this year.
He wants to go to the Lakers maybe next year, but
if they have the money.
If they have the money.
Then you got the Clippers 8, Pelicans 9, Jazz 10. I'm willing to eat my words on it. I still don't think it could happen. I still don't think they're going to make it. We'll see what happens with LeBron. But the Lakers are tied with the Jazz for that last spot.
Yeah.
I still don't think they're going to make it. I'll eat my words if they do.
I think they can make it.
Depends on what the Jazz do. The Jazz might be playing.
Do you see the 7-10? Do you see how the standings is?
They're
like 2 of them tie, and there's only half game for all those 4 teams. Half. You see it?
Yeah. So Mavericks.
Well, there's Utah 2 games behind the Clippers.
So Mavericks and Clippers are tied technically for games back out of first place. .001 winning percentage more for the Mavericks. Those 2 are both a little over 500. And then you have the Pelicans, Jazz, Lakers, Thunder, and Portland. That's 9 through 13 that could all potentially still make the playoffs. Jazz are.
Maybe San Antonio will make it.
I mean, look at this. Jazz and Lakers are 31 and 34, and the Thunder and Blazers are 30 and 34. They are a half game back on swapping there.
Yep.
Thunder did get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander back.
Maybe San Antonio will jump in.
That's interesting. They need a miracle. I think that they might actually be mathematically eliminated at this point. Yeah, them, the Rockets and the Pistons, Hornets. Those are the four. It look like they're already mathematically
It's
eliminated.
insane
So
how the Rockets and Spurs used to be good a couple years ago.
they had Harden, they had Westbrook, lost them both. Spurs had their dynasty finally fall apart. They all retired. So NBA is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
We're coming down the stretch, but we will once we get closer to playoffs, we're gonna go into that. We're gonna go into
Every single details.
Yep.
We're gonna talk about the predictions before the playoff starts. We're gonna break down every single matchup. Who's the what was the best matchup for each team for that,
Yes.
and we can go from there. But stay tuned.
Yeah, we're gonna give our prediction. We might actually have a NBA playoff edition special type thing, just like we did for the Super Bowl. So we'll get into that, but we're gonna switch up here. Something we haven't talked about in a few weeks, ever since the Super Bowl ended, and that is football.
Yeah.
We are gonna talk a little bit about football. News broke over the weekend, and I was kind of looking at that a little bit. Ravens and Lamar Jackson are far off on contract talks.
Yeah,
They are far off.
very far.
And this was reported about 18 hours ago that it sounds like multiple executives believe that a non-exclusive tag on Lamar Jackson is likely. So they might franchise tag him. If they do, I wonder if Lamar Jackson plays.
Yeah,
I wonder if he sits out.
that will affect him more than
If he
affecting
sits out.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
So he needs to accept the tag and play as hard as he can and make this team a contender next year. So in order to make that money for the following year, for another team, if he gets tagged, I don't see him coming back to the Ravens.
No, I think he'll be. I think that relationship is very close to being done anyhow. A lot of executives are mad too that the Browns did give the fully guaranteed contract to Deshaun Watson just because they knew
it
what
was
they were
bad.
doing when it came to trying to eliminate
It was bad.
the opportunities. They're handcuffing other teams by giving that contract.
It's bad. It's bad.
It's a bad contract for the Browns. It is. However, it was smart, it seems like, because now look at what the Ravens are dealing with. Lamar Jackson wants more than Deshaun Watson, and he wants fully guaranteed. Ravens don't bend. The Ravens didn't even bend for Ray Lewis when this happened.
So right now the cap space jumped in a little bit more.
Just a little bit, but not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Okay.
The Ravens were also struggling with money as is for a little bit. They did make a couple trades. It's going to be the talking point for the NFL for the next couple weeks in that sense.
Yeah.
But another little bit of NFL news. Derek Carr seems to be in agreement to go to the New Orleans Saints.
I was shocked because I thought they was going to another Jets was involved. I think I don't know who was the other team, but I know the Jets was involved.
Yeah, Jets were one of them. So looking at this was tweeted out earlier today around like 11:50ish by Adam Schefter. So the NFC North went from having Tom Brady, Marcus Mariota, Matt Ryan-ish, those type of quarterbacks in there. They went from those quarterbacks to now the Saints starting quarterback looks to be like Derek Carr. It does look like Jameis Winston might be a casualty to the salary cap cut when that time comes. Falcons have Desmond Ridder. Kyle Trask for the Buccaneers. Don't even know who that is. And then Matt Corral and Jacob Eason for the Panthers. There's only one quarterback there that looks like they belong as a starting quarterback. Desmond Ridder is a young rookie. He might be coming up here soon. But Derek Carr, the Saints might run away with that division. Unless the Falcons do something to help their quarterback, which they did already. They got a good running back in Tyler Algieri. And they also have a good receiver now in Drake London. So now they have a quarterback. We'll see what happens.
So you see,
In my opinion, it's the Saints or Atlanta running away with that division.
so New Orleans will have a chance to run the what's it called, the NFC South.
Yeah, they would run the NFC South. I don't think the Panthers are there yet, and I don't think the Buccaneers are doing anything.
Buccaneers, I don't know what.
I don't know who we got to see what the quarterback is first. I got to see him
They don't
play.
qualify for, good quarterback. What I heard, so they need to sign somebody. There's some quarterbacks available out there.
There are.
Baker
I wonder.
Mayfield, maybe.
Oh Lord. Tampa Bay wanted him too. If Tom Brady retired, Tampa Bay Bruce Arians wanted him.
Could be an option for the Bucks.
Could.
Maybe he can get, try to be a good quarterback of the Bucks, but we'll see. The Browns, they need a lot of stuff, man. They just, but do you think Daniel Jones is going resigning to the Giants after they?
Yeah, I think he is, and I don't know what the Giants are doing on that. Honestly, it sounds like $40 million a year for one good season.
Just one good season.
Like in my opinion, one good season. They made the playoffs. He's been decent. He has been decent, but for one good season, in my opinion.
Yeah. No.
And then you didn't even sign Barkley.
No.
So you signed Daniel Jones, but not Saquon Barkley.
Barkley was the best option as a running back for the past if he wasn't injured, the best running back right there.
Barkley, don't forget, Barkley was taken in the same draft that Nick Chubb went second round.
It will be a good thing.
That's a good comparison
for fantasy football next year. I bet you one of the top 10 will be Pacheco for the Chiefs.
I don't know about top 10, maybe second rounder.
Pollard will be another one.
He'll be a later because of his injury, but yeah. We're in a fantasy league, sir. I can't be giving you my thoughts and insights.
Eckler. But
if you have the number one pick, I know who you're taking now, but no.
Oh no, we cannot talk about that.
No, you're fine. But so NFL's coming up with the draft here in about a month.
Yeah, it will be in Kansas City.
Yeah, it is.
The home of the Super Bowl champions.
Travis Kelce on Saturday Night Live was kind of funny too. If you haven't seen that and you have a way to view it and stream it, I think it's on Peacock now.
Peacock now?
Yeah, I believe so. It was pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
He did pretty good. So football's around the corner with a couple updates. We do have technically free agency starts March 15th. That's around the tampering period. There's going to be moves. There are reports, of one of the major reports last year was Amari Cooper getting traded to the Browns to Dallas for, I believe it was a 5th round pick that could turn into a 4th. It sounds like something similar might be happening with Cleveland again, but this time at defensive tackle. I heard a couple names out there, one of which was DeForest Buckner, if the Colts want to part ways with him.
Do you think the Browns need a wide receiver, at least one?
I think they need to draft one or sign one. I feel like somebody like Alan Lazard, Mecole Hardman would be a good option. There might be another receiver that gets cut as a casualty. That's, a Pro Bowler. I mean, do the Saints really want to keep sitting on Michael Thomas's contract?
Oof.
Do they maybe cut him? Does he maybe, want to go play? I don't know. Same thing with Arizona. Arizona's in a tricky situation.
Hoskins,
do they, DeAndre Hopkins.
But that's
that's another person. But those are guys that if they get cut, they're not getting their $20 million back.
No,
they're gonna get $7 to $10 million ish, maybe for 2 years, and they'll run with that. I do think in the Brown situation, they do need to go more defense. Defense. If I'm the Ravens, I'm doing more offense. If I'm the Bengals, you need to replace the guys that you lose. It sounds like they're going to lose a lot of defensive players. They need to do that. One report also that would hurt the Bengals in this case, and it's always the AFC North that does this consistently. Sounds like Jesse Bates is willing to come to Cleveland.
Oof.
And that would help their safety position. Going from the Bengals to the Browns, Cincinnati might hate him if that were to happen. But there's also reports he might go to Atlanta, so...
Do you think the Browns have a cap space to sign severals or not?
Well, that's another report I've seen that Deshaun Watson is willing to take most of that money that was given to him is fully guaranteed. The Browns might turn most of it into a signing bonus and open up, anywhere between 20 to
that's
30
what
million.
Deshaun Watson said.
Deshaun Watson seems to be willing to do that. He wants to win a Super Bowl. As his career, he's had an ACL injury. He's dealt with the allegations.
To get the redemption, everything.
I think he's willing to do it. He's being a team player. The Browns gave him all that money. He's getting it regardless. He's not losing the money. Okay. He's just going to get it as a signing bonus. So instead of getting paid $20 million throughout the year, he's going to get paid $20 million right up front.
So that
opens up. Let's say 20 to 30 million, 20 to 30 million. And sounds like they're cutting John Johnson. I mean, that's roughly around $40 million right there that you're saving. That's enough to go get, a top-tier defensive tackle, go trade for another one, Maybe go sign a veteran receiver.
They're losing Clowney, I know.
Well, Clowney closed the door on his way out.
Yeah.
He didn't even crack it open. He was gone as soon as he opened that door. So it's I mean, speaking of Hopkins, he's trending on Twitter right now. I wonder what that's for.
Huh?
Yeah.
What is it all about?
So this was about 7 minutes ago. Says, looks like DeAndre, let me see. Cardinals star wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, who is in Dallas currently, was on IG Live, Instagram Live with Des Bryant and had this to say. I keep hearing y'all say my name around here. What's up? Talk to me.
Oh my God.
I mean, he's familiar with Texas. He did play with the Houston Texans for a long
Yeah.
time. What's a 3-hour, 2.5-hour drive to Arlington? I think that's about how long it is. God only knows you could drive 12 hours in that state and keep driving. So
It's gonna be very interesting. You heard about Derrick Henry? Could be they're gonna move out. Titans said Derrick Henry. They're gonna trade him or something, or cut him up or something like that.
yeah, they could. I mean, he's there's a few things with him that are questionable. I mean, is his health going to continue to stay the way it is? He's a bigger running back. I mean, he's going to take a lot more hits to the legs. Yes, he's a lot taller, so is that going to affect him? He was hurt a couple games the last couple seasons, so it might be coming to that point where they might want to cut their losses before they get caught.
Yeah.
So, but basketball, NBA out of the way, NFL out of the way. So. We do
Our
have
favorite.
We do have a few updates on baseball. Not a whole lot to talk about. We do have a few updates. First off, Boston, you sneaky son of a bitch.
Yeah, I know.
The Red Sox, you sneaky son of a bitch. They switched. The shifts ban in baseball.
Yeah.
They moved their left fielder to right field.
Yeah.
There's no outfield ban.
No,
it's only infield.
So they cannot do anything about it. MLB cannot do anything about that.
There's gonna be a rule placed in before the season starts. You watch.
Oh.
You watch.
Do you like the pitch clock right now?
I still don't like it. I did see one of the Yankees reliever. What was it? Wandy Peralta.
20 seconds.
20-second strikeout.
20 seconds, strikeout.
3 pitches.
You see Max Scherzer
Did the same thing. Did the same thing. Yeah.
So the game will go quicker.
I mean, 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Average right now.
Yeah.
Well, you think it's a good thing?
Again, ticket prices better go down if that's the case.
Yeah.
Because you're not paying for the same quality. You're paying for the same quality of game, just shorter time frame. So you're not getting as much quote unquote bang for your buck.
Another thing.
Yes.
The Red Sox, they are undefeated in spring training. Still spring training.
162 games. We'll see what happens.
But spring training, well, I'm just saying. By the way, there's some bad news about the Red Sox today. Justin Turner.
Yeah.
He got hit very bad.
At least there's no fractural damage. They did say it looked like a soft tissue injury, severe soft tissue injury. There looks like there was no jaw broken, none of that stuff. So I feel like he's going to sit out the rest of spring training. Baseball, about 3 weeks away. He's going to come back, and I think he'll be ready by the spring, a home opener.
So speed recovery,
season.
Justin Turner.
You hate to see that.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah. Especially with that fastball. It was a fastball in his face.
There was an account on Twitter. Forgot the exact name of it. But they said, you have one way to show somebody photo or video of how to convince them to watch baseball. Convince them to watch baseball. What video are you showing? 3 of them that I really liked, I retweeted on my personal Twitter. One of which was when the universal DH was still not a thing. Camarena, who just got called up as a pitcher for the Padres.
Video too much.
I'll have to show it to you. But so Camarena hit a grand slam when he got called up from El Paso to pitch for the Padres a couple years ago.
Okay.
Hit a grand slam. Pitcher.
Wow.
Yeah, that was one of the videos. The other one was the game we went to last year, Game 3, Cleveland versus Yankees. the way that stadium erupted was 1,000 times better in person than on video. You can look up the videos on Twitter, YouTube, whatever you want to find.
They're still showing
there
video.
are ridiculous amounts of videos out there. There's one that was from an apartment building that we seen that day of, that was like 16 blocks away, and you could hear the stadium erupt the moment that hit went through.
That day I was so sad.
I was sad the whole entire game. I ended up enjoying the end of it.
Yeah, there was a funny part because, the Indians was winning. Sorry, Indians. Sorry, I always call it Indians. They was winning 2-0, and the first
What was
inning,
it, 5-3 by the end of it? Yeah.
the first inning, and then my buddy here, Cameron, he left to get chips and beer. I was by myself. You know what happened? Aaron just hit a home run.
Yeah, you're gonna have to super glue me to seats now. I'm not allowed to leave.
So hit a home run. After that, he left again. I don't know for what. Then Correa hit a home run. Then 4-2. So every single time the Yankees take a lead, my buddy was not by my side at all.
I'm glad we're going to the game together in April.
Yeah. So maybe that.
So maybe I'll be.
You need to leave again.
I'm not leaving this time. I'm not leaving this time.
It was funny because I know he showed his face. He was so sad. Hey, I just told him. He can tell you. I say it's not over until it's over.
Yeah, and
I did say that. And by the way, the Indians won that game with 2 outs, bases loaded. What's his name? SpongeBob.
Oh, Oscar Gonzalez.
Oscar Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Hit the single in the center.
Can we talk about how quick Ahmed Rosario ran those bases?
Oh yeah.
He is fast.
Let me tell you, Cleveland I think they will win the division.
They got a bright future.
I don't think Minnesota's gonna win that division after they made those moves.
Who is it Mark DeRosa of MLB Network? They do their I'm looking it up right now. They do their like going around. Nope. Greg Amsinger, is that his name? I can't pronounce his last name. He's an MLB analyst. So him and another guy were going around every spring training camp. They were going around and talking 30 days.
30 days and 30
yes.
teams or something like that. Yeah.
So they stopped in Cleveland.
Oh yeah. When?
Apparently, it looked like 2 days ago. So he was talking to Stephen Kwan, and he even said to his coworkers, side-by-side analysts, he goes, you can ask him, I don't say this to everyone. He's like, I don't say this to everyone, but I'm predicting this guy right here, pointing to Stephen Kwan, is going to win the batting title in 2023.
Wow.
For a guy who has the lowest swing and miss percentage.
In 23?
Yes, in 2022.
I'm sorry, 22.
And he also was the lowest in strikeout rate.
Yeah.
On top of the
He's a great
swinging out of,
player.
he does not swing out of the zone. He does not. He was also the highest rated left-handed batter that got called out on strikes for pitches that were outside of the zone. He had the most strike percentage outside of the zone pitches.
The only problem the Cleveland have in the playoffs was the offense.
And I think that's going to change. Hopefully Oscar Gonzalez turns into a contact/power hitter now. He needs to get those home runs up. I think Ahmed Rosario hopefully Miles Straw can bounce back.
Oh yeah, he
was bad.
He needs to.
The biggest question mark again is going to be catcher. We don't know what we got. Mike Zuino had a good 2021.
Just for now, it's a stopgap for a little bit.
Yes, you got Bo Naylor coming up, but again,
so it's a stopgap for catching. You will get Bo Naylor soon. You got a great catcher he's a good defensive catcher.
Yes,
he's good.
Bo Naylor?
No. I'm talking about
Zuino.
Yeah. He's not a great offense player,
but he's there for defense.
Boy, defense. That's what you need. You got Josh Bell right now. You got Jimenez. I forgot his first name. The shortstop. The second base.
Andres Jimenez.
He great to have a great season.
He might have a back-to-back All-Star this year.
And then I think Cleveland, they will win the division. They have the best they have the best bullpen. Maybe below from the Houston Astros bullpen because that Astros bullpen is so freaking good.
Yeah, I think Yankees are up there too. I think they're top 5 when it comes to bullpen, in my opinion. They do have a couple question marks, but again, they've had guys that have come up and done good. But
oh my God, breaking news! New York Mets starter Jose Quintana has been diagnosed with small stress fracture in his left rib cage. He will leave the spring training camp and travel to New York to further test.
well,
This is not good for the Mets.
you got rid of DeGrom, and he needed to bolster that starting rotation. They did not. They did that, and now they're dealing with some injuries. So that's not good for them if he's out long term.
That's not good for the especially a pitcher.
Yeah.
With the ribs
In the ribs.
Yeah, that's bad.
Well, the other thing too is it depends on which side of the ribs. If it's this throwing side, it's going to be
left.
Is he a left-handed or right-handed pitcher? I think he's a right-handed pitcher.
Jose Quintana is let me check. Baseball pitcher, okay.
But while you look that up,
Oh, he's a left-hander.
so that's going to be even longer because now he's putting all that pressure on there as well. So that's going to be an issue for them. We'll see how they plan that out.
He's a left-hander, yeah.
I do have one more thing I want to talk about here before we end it. We have the World Baseball Classic starting in 2 days.
I'm not looking. It's not interesting after all this.
One of the major ones was Vladimir Guerrero backing out.
Yeah.
Dominican Republic still the favorite?
Whew.
It's gotten a lot closer.
Puerto Rico lost 2 key players. Correa
Jose Miranda.
and Miranda.
Yeah, that's both twins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're still the favorites. But right now it's a question mark.
It's got closer. The gap has gotten closer.
Juan Soto got hurt too. A little bit. But he said he will be there. He will be ready, but still.
Japan's been playing exhibition games.
Japan, you see Shohei Ohtani on
Off
his
the knee. Was it 415?
420 feet.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Could be Japan.
Japan's going to give a lot of teams a run for their money. But
I don't see Puerto Rico will go deep. I see maybe Dominican Republic, USA, and Japan.
Okay. Well, World Baseball Classic starts in 2 days.
Oh yeah, cannot
for
wait.
At least the Pool A. Pool B, C, and D, I believe, start this weekend.
We forget about something. Manny Machado contract.
We talked about that last week.
Oh yes. Okay, I'm sorry, but still.
Happy Monday, everyone.
Happy Monday, yeah.
It's tired.
But it's gonna be very interesting about this season. I will see a lot of offense this year after the shifting was banned.
I think the Padres won the division now.
You think?
What if the Dodgers just lost Gavin Lux, ACL tear?
By the way, I heard that rumors they talking to the Yankees right now, the Dodgers, for IKF, because of the fact.
Is he playing left bench?
Well, he's not like Volpe is exceeding the expectations of the spring training.
Now, my question is, do you go for IKF or Torres?
No, it will be Volpe or Peraza.
No. Dodgers. IKF or Torres?
IKF because it's he was third.
I don't think that they're really worried about who's there. I think they would be more than willing to put Mookie Betts in the outfield and replace Mookie from second to outfield to get Torres in there.
Could be.
Because Chris Taylor can still play second or short.
Well, if that's the case,
one of those two might be gone.
yeah, because
One
they
of
have too many infields. They saying that Cabrera will be part of the MLB roster. Cabrera could be in a left field position now. Dominguez is not going to make the MLB roster, and this is the reason. He needs to be in AAA for at least maybe 6 more months before we called up. I think
you have a spot for
Volpe will be the best scenario. He will make the debut in March.
As much as everyone's high on Volpe, I still think Oswald Peraza is going to be the better shortstop.
No, I get it. No,
That's just my opinion.
He's gonna be the shortstop, Peraza. Volpe will be the second base, so that's the reason why Falefa and Gleyber Torres could be leaving soon.
Yeah. There's a couple scenarios. We're gonna see who breaks for camp. We're gonna see who breaks for camp here because
But
regular
Volpe, I
season's
don't know,
almost
you see
done
Volpe
or almost
play.
here.
I don't know. You see Volpe play.
I have seen him play a little bit.
But
Peraza has better defense in my not better defense. They're pretty much subpar on defense. They're both head to head on
Did you see
that.
Dominguez the way he played too? Jason Dominguez.
Yeah.
He's
I
doing
told-
good.
Did I not tell you?
He's doing good.
The number one headline after he hit his home run the other day.
Yeah.
The Martian sends one into orbit.
Yeah, he did.
He's not out. He's not from this world. And you guys
and it was
don't
it
have a
was
spot
down,
for
like
him.
Shohei Ohtani, kind of.
You guys don't have a spot for him right now.
Right now, they said they're not gonna trade him. They said they will eat the contract for Aaron Hicks somehow. Because Aaron Hicks had no position. He doesn't have right now. Harrison Bader will be the center fielder for the Yankees, and Judge could be the center fielder as well. So right field will be Stanton. So Aaron Hicks is not good in left field at all.
No.
So Cabrera will take the spot in left field. So they have to trade Aaron Hicks, and the Yankees unfortunately have to eat the contract to facilitate a trade. That's what happened when you made a bad contract. 7 years, $70 million.
Well, we've covered all of our bases today. There's a lot of stuff that we talked about. So, World Baseball Classic. We'll have a couple updates next time we talk about this. But anything you want to add today?
The only thing I want to add, I'm hungry.
Okay, well, you go eat.
No, you eat too.
Yeah, I did that before you got here. I
Always almost
already
springtime.
did my workout and stuff too, so we're good today. So
It's almost springtime.
we're getting more. We're springing forward Sunday, so it's gonna be lighter later.
Yeah, I forgot about
It's
that.
gonna be
We're losing 1 hour.
1 hour of sleep. Woohoo! As if I don't get enough as is. But, all right, well, we're gonna end it there, everyone. So again, thank you for watching. If you're returning follower, we really do appreciate all the views that we can get.
And follow us on Twitter and YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. Twitter for Elizer is at Shea Ruiz. CheyRuiz 23. You can follow me on Twitter as well at Shatera Cameron, SHUTTERA, and then CAMERON. And you can always follow us for breaking news and stuff like Justin Turner's injury and breaking news for Jose Quintana, which is going to be at Inside Stadium on Twitter as well. So you can find us there. Talk to you guys next week. Have a good week.
Talk to you guys later.